there, Cheesemeisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod After Dark. Listen to the colors of your dreams. I'm Jeff. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my co-host.
I'm Leslie, and I want to go play.
Yeah, so my hair's all poofy now that I had this hood on. It's weird looking.
It looks great. Okay, I see a stray.
No, it's strays or whatever. No, but it was just like weird poofy up on top. So it's all right now. We're good. I could just do this and totally change.
You could.
Everything. Did it work? Did I do it? Do I look
almost
like Robin Tunney now?
Oh man, I wish.
Oh, rude. I'm hotter than she is.
No, you're not. She's okay.
Rude.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that later about Robin Tunney being hotter than you.
I disagree. I don't like this already. This is bad. All right. We're talking about how attractive I am, God damn it. This is a problem. This is the whole problem with this movie is all the male bashing. That's
here we go. And I haven't even said anything yet.
This is going to be ridiculous. All right, Cheesemeisters. This week we are discussing The Craft. The 1996 Mean Girls, but What If They're Witches masterpiece, directed by Andrew Fleming and written by Andrew Fleming and another person, whose name is Perd Hapley. No.
Ian Fleming.
Yeah, no, yeah. Peter Filardi. So there you go.
That's just as made up.
My apologies to Peter Filardi for forgetting his name and then making it sound like it's made up. It is a great name. It's not as good as Turd Ferguson, but it's a good name. This movie stars Fairuza Balk, Robin Tunney, Neve Campbell, and Rachel True, with Skeet Ulrich and Christine Taylor, who can read minds.
What?
Remember when she told Zoolander and Hansel that she was bulimic, and Hansel thought she could read minds?
Oh my god!
That Hansel is so hot right now.
Forgot that.
Yep, we are watching this in conjunction with season 4, episode 2, The Girl from New York. Our spelling connection is the reason we chose this movie. It's Rachel True. She goes to the University of Minnesota. She comes into Brenda's dorm room and is one of the people who's like, Brenda's a lame stain. She should remain bound and hagged. And then they all leave. And also Cliff DeYoung, who is in this movie, was in an episode of Melrose Place. So
cool.
Double connection. Yeah. Oh, before we get deep into this bullshit, you had mentioned to me that there were people out there unsure about what the spelling connection means.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though I have tried to explain it to
some. I get it. So here's what it is. I have this theory that everything comes back to Aaron Spelling. And it's like the idea of the Kevin Bacon game, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but this is 1 degree. Like, my contention is that if you pick a piece if you pick a movie or almost a TV show too, from the 1930s to, I don't know, the mid-aughts, you can find a direct connection to an Aaron Spelling show. Someone in that was in something he did.
Yeah.
And for those not familiar, the Aaron Spelling collective universe consists of things like the Mod Squad, Fantasy Island, Love Boat, Charlie's Angels, Hotel, 90210, Melrose Place, Models Inc., Seventh Heaven. What's the one that Shannon did? I keep wanting to say, Charmed, not The Craft.
Oh yeah, Charmed.
And what so many of those shows had in common was, one, they were on forever. I mean, there are 10 seasons of 90210, 7 or 8 of Melrose. I think there's like 14 of The Love Boat. I mean, these shows went forever. So there's lots of episodes and there's lots of guest stars. And when you look at stuff like The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, those shows in the 70s that were loaded with guest stars, they were loaded with two kinds of guest stars. Either present day TV actors on their way up, or old Hollywood, people who were famous in the 30s who were in their 70s now, and Aaron Spelling was like, I would love it if you would come and do my show. And they got a paycheck and they did work. And so this is how we have watched things like Citizen Kane and Casablanca. Like, it's these connections to these shows. So in an effort to continue to prove my theory, we choose a new movie every week and we watch it. And we choose that movie in conjunction with the episode of 90210 that we just watched. And sometimes that connection can be tenuous.
Yeah.
At best. And there's no rules. Like, we go where the wind takes us. We chose this one because our spelling connection was in this episode of 90210. This movie, there's a beach, and Brandon and Steve are in a beach house. Like, that could be a reason we chose to watch it. That's as valid as any.
There's sexual... there's sexual assault.
That's true. So, yeah, we could have...
No, please note, I'm not joyous about that. I want to make that clear. That's not I'm not happy about that. But for those who need a tie-in to the episode, there's that dark-ass tie-in for you.
Yeah, and like, it's never been our thing. I mean, unless we're in a fucking mood. It's never been our thing to, like, be like, oh, this movie is about matricide. We should, like, oh, Jack McKay blew up. Let's watch a movie where people blow up. Like, that's not exactly what we're going for. Or like the AIDS episode, we weren't like, let's watch AIDS movies. Like,
I would
that's
say
just not sort of the vibe.
The best example of something we were definitely not going to watch a movie about was in the case of Sue Scanlon and Uncle Henry.
Oh, fuck a duck. Definitely not.
I think we're all sad and angry enough right now. We don't need it. We don't need it. You don't need it. Come on.
No, this is fun, silly bullshit is what this is.
Yes.
But I've had this Aaron Spelling theory since I was in college in the mid 90s. Like, when we started this podcast, I was telling a friend of mine from college about it. I haven't talked to him in a while. I was like, hey, I'm doing this podcast thing. It's pretty fun. And I said, are you familiar? How familiar? Whatever. I don't remember what I said. And he goes, oh, I remember the spelling connection. No. He's like, I remember your theory that everything comes back to Aaron Spelling. So this is some bullshit that I've been saying for 30 years now.
Man.
But I'm fucking right. Like,
yeah.
We have done, this is season 4 of The After Dark, and 90210 has 30 episodes a season. So we've done probably 100 movies already.
Yeah.
And it's not hard. The hardest one we did was Mean Girls.
Jose Clemente Hernandez!
Look at you remembering his whole ass name. I'm so excited about this dude. We had to go deep
he's
to
my
find
green room.
He is your green room. God bless everything. So that's what the spelling connection is. Every Peach Pod After Dark, we just try to once again prove my theory that everything comes back to Aaron Spelling. And guess what? It does, because we wouldn't be talking about it if it didn't. Spoilers.
Exactly.
So
cheers to that.
That's right. That's the answer. That's what the spelling connection is. That's my theory, that everything comes back to Aaron Spelling. It should be a law at this point.
Sure.
Graduated. We've tested this hypothesis 100 times.
It would not be the craziest law being put into. Yeah.
Nope. It'd be the one that is purely for good. Anyway, we're not stalling.
Do you need help with this summary?
No, I mean, here's the thing. So let me ask you this. Let's start here. We'll talk about what the movie's about and what happens and whatever. But had you ever seen this before?
Oddly enough, I had not.
Was it a movie that you were like, oh, I definitely want to see that at some point? It's like on my mental checklist of movies to see. Or was it a movie that you just like knew existed and that was the extent of it?
A little bit of both. Like it wasn't on the, oh, I definitely need to watch this. It was, Fairuza Balk is in it. It's a 90s movie and it's about witches. I would probably enjoy this. I should see it at some point.
It checks boxes for you. Sure. Okay. So I thought I had seen this movie, but I watched it on Monday and I'm like, I literally remember none of this.
Wow.
None of it. No, there's not a single thing that happened in this movie that I was like, I remember this scene. Like, I remember that Neve Campbell's in it because, guess what, guys? I love Neve Campbell. Like, I know. Look, she's brunette. But also she's just stunning, and I love Neve Campbell. And I was a big Party of Five guy back in the 90s. So when this came out, I'm like Team Julia Salinger. Like, let's get it done. And so when this movie came out, I feel like I would have been like interested in seeing it, but also not driven to see it.
That's fair.
Not for any reason I can put my finger on, because I love the X-Files and I like Buffy. I love Buffy. So stories about the supernatural or witchcraft and I've read my bookshelf behind me is Stephen King start to finish. I mean, I'm a big horror reader. I like fantasy, all that stuff. I like it. So like, oh, this sexy ladies in this movie that's all about witches and shit. Like, it's not something I'm disinterested in when you just describe it.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing it. Or I
That's
thought
the spell they put on men at the end of the movie. At the end of the credits, there's a
and you just forget that you watched it. And like, this walk is like, yeah, okay, I get it.
I was about to say, I'll just go ahead and say it. That's just guys listening to women.
Oh, there you go. I mean, it could be.
It could be. But sorry. I forget stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't stick.
Which, and like, I wonder if that's how it then becomes a cult classic somehow, because people end up I feel like how things become a cult classic is you watch things over and over again.
Oh, for sure.
It just happens to be on TV. There's nothing new to rent at Blockbuster, so I'm going to rewatch The Craft. Like, and so I'm wondering, I feel like I'll probably rewatch this at some point. I'm not yearning to right now because I'm still mad about some things. But I would imagine in a few years. Yeah, I'm going to say in a few years, I might rewatch it again.
Okay. The thing about the cult classic, like, this is probably a cult classic, and not just because it's an occult classic. Zing!
Oh boy!
I know. I nailed it, you guys. I'm the best. I know girls coming up with that joke. That's a boy joke.
Wow.
No, I don't even know what I'm doing with this episode. I don't fucking know. Because here's the thing. I felt nothing watching this movie. Here's what happens in this movie. Robin Tunney moves to town, full on Parent Trap mode. Just coming into a new school, like what's her ass from the Parent Trap and Mean Girls, and right, what's her name?
See, Katie. See, from the beginning, sorry to interrupt your summary, but from the beginning, this felt like Casper to me. You have a new girl in town with her dad, her mom's dead, and she's got a spookiness about her.
Okay, fair. Not seen Casper, so I would not have drawn that connection. I apologize.
It's fine.
No, I know.
It's just darling.
I'm sure that it is. I think I was too old for Casper when Casper came out. You know,
Yeah, I went on my 6th birthday.
Yeah, so I would have been in college. So in college, I'm not going to see Casper. I was too cool for that. You know why? Because there was beer and shit.
You would have dug it, man. You would have. Listen, when that little ghost whispers in her ear, "Can I keep you?" You would have weeped. You would have melted.
I get it. You know who else melts? Witches when you throw water on them. What a world! What a world!
Nah, not these witches.
No, not these witches. So anyway, she moves to town, and I guess she was always a little bit of a weirdo. She was a witch already.
Yes.
She was more of a witch than these other witches. But there's these 3 witches that hang out alongside of the courtyard and walk down the hall all weird, and they walk down the hall the way your favorite high school English teacher walked down the hall when he was in my high school.
Oh God.
All wearing all black.
That's a deep reference, and I love it.
Yep. So that's the thing. So she falls in with these girls, and they needed a 4th for their bridge game or their witchcraft or whatever. And I don't know. They needed 4. Usually 3 is like a magic number, but they're like, no, you know what's better? 4. So they're doing this why they needed 4. Sure, as much as any of this shit made sense. And they start to get power as witches, and then they're like, you know what we're gonna do with our power? We're smite. We're gonna smite people. That's what we're gonna do. Like this Skeet Ulrich guy, I'm gonna make him so lovesick that he's just neutered. Like anything about him that you found attractive is now gone. Like he's just a puddle. It's really not awesome. And then
except the way she phrased it was, I'm gonna make him love me. And I thought, for why, sis?
Right. Why do you want that?
We'll go back to that. But please continue.
And then Rachel True, whose character name I don't remember. Rochelle. She's mad at the lady who doesn't like male models. Yeah, because she's racist. And she makes all of her hair fall out in like clumps. And
deserved.
Sure. I mean, no beef. My only note there is, listen, Christine Taylor, your hair has been falling out like that for a week. If you're sitting on the bathroom floor, the shower floor in your high school locker room, going, what's happening after a week? Bitch, your hair's falling out. That's what's happening. It's been happening. Get a hat.
Side poll, which makes you feel oogiest? Passing out on the Peach Pit bathroom floor or sitting in a school gym shower?
Passing out on the Peach Pit bathroom floor.
Wow.
Yeah. Because both of them are bathrooms, but one of them involves hamburger grease.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like there's just an extra level of sliminess to that situation. Plus I got nothing against pubes. Pubes are fine. Like that's, and plus that's a girl bathroom floor. That's great. Like it's so much less gross than a boy bathroom floor. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I bet some teenage boys would feel a little oogie about it certain times of the month.
Yeah, but that's because they're teenage boys and they're stupid.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, neither is ideal for like a place to pop a squat, but,
yeah.
But my biggest thing is like, how are you still surprised that this is happening?
I know. Why haven't you fixed this? You look like you're a rich girl. Like your mom.
Yeah.
Listen, honey, I bet I know your mom. Your mom would have had you wigged already.
Oh, your mom is Felice Martin. Like she would have had you wigged, but she also would have blamed you for it first.
Yes.
And probably said that whatever this is, you probably brought it on yourself, which in this case, Felice is right.
Also, it would not have made her nicer to Rochelle.
No. So then they turn on each other, and they battle back and forth, and Robin Tunney has like the real power, and Fairuza Balk has like crazy lady power, and they witch fight, and the movie's over. Everybody's whatever, it's done.
We don't get enough backstory. There's a lot of jump cuts. It's weird. Walter at one point said, "Was this made for TV?" And I went, "Nope."
Nope, it's actually in a theater.
Yep.
So, how do you? Okay, would it be helpful? Would it be a good way to get into this for the things you have feelings about, to talk about girl power?
I mean, sure. I love talking about girl power and feminism.
Which stories are about female empowerment at their core? That's what they are. The idea of a coven is like, you know, the power of multiple women coming together and affecting change in their world through magic. That's a coven. But it's take away the magic part of it, and it's just about women coming together and supporting one another and building each other up, and power. But here's my question, because this is 1996 girl power. We're a good 3 years ahead of Spice Girls girl power. Does girl power always have to eat itself?
No, and that's what I hated about this. Like, I was so thrilled seeing them come together, be friends, hanging out. And then the minute it turns and becomes the three of them against Sarah, I started losing interest.
Yeah.
Like, and I've had to remind myself since, like, oh yeah, this is the 90s. The 90s didn't really believe in friendship. The 90s certainly didn't really believe in empowering women. They gave us just a little bit and was like, oh, but you know what? It's all gonna fall apart and you all should be put in psych wards.
Sure. I mean,
and that's my extreme take. But
it's not extreme. That's what happens in this movie.
It is, and it makes me mad, Jeff. When I saw that they put her in a psych ward, I went, no, you didn't. Mm-hmm. You might as well have just gone ahead and burned her, because you just did the same thing that has happened to mentally unstable women for all of time.
Mm-hmm.
You took someone who has problems and you said, you know what? Bitch is cray. We just gotta lock her up. Because
this was cray, but...
Well, yes, but again, it's like, we don't want to help people. We just want to put them away. Or we don't want to help women. We just want to put them away because, I don't know, one of y'all's got to be normal. Like, it took the movie back. Like, I had hope, because I thought, oh, she's still getting to use, Sarah's getting to use her powers for good. So, like, good versus evil. I'm okay with that. They just put Nancy in a fucking psych ward. And, like, I'm not okay with that. But I'm also not okay with the fact that these friends didn't get to stay friends. Like, they couldn't help each other. Mm-hmm. Apparently, the Max reboot kind of does a more Disney-fied version, which I'm going to say it. I want a more Disney-fied ending. I want my women working together. We need those examples. We need more Leslie Knope and Ann Perkins, because until we get more of that, we're just going to... Ann Perkins. We're just going to keep thinking, like Tina Fey said, it's going to keep giving guys the fuel. Like, well, you all can't work together, so why should we have you lead anything? Mm-hmm. And that's where we are.
I mean, it happened to the Spice Girls too, FYI. Like, girl power. But yeah. So like, I think that this movie, I don't know if it wants to be about female empowerment. I think it kind of does want to be about that, but I don't, it's not, like, because again, that's what all witch stories are. Witch stories are stories of female empowerment.
Yeah.
And the story of, whatever, fuck the patriarchy, like crushing it.
Yeah.
Like over and over again, crushing it. That's what those kind of stories are about. That's why I love sci-fi and fantasy, because they're allegorical. They're our world, there are struggles, but you put a magic hat on it or put a blaster in its hand. That's why those kind of stories are fantastic. That's why I love them. And that's why I would be like, yay for this. Except for, I think this movie is, I had no emotional connection to this movie. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was bad. I wasn't rooting for anybody. I wasn't rooting against anybody. I couldn't figure out if I believed any of it, like if any of it came off as real. And I think my problem with it is, it's what Mr. Miyagi told to Daniel. Walk left side of road, safe. Right side of road, safe. Walk in the middle, sooner or later, just like that. This movie is too in the middle. Like, it's supposed to be empowering, but it's not empowering enough. It's right there in the middle.
Well, and to add to that, I'm sorry, just like when they were doing this montage of why each woman, it was basically this is why they're all broken and they need magic. And I thought, do we have to be broken to want to feel empowered? Do we have to be broken to seek power? We want the same things everyone else does. We just want to, okay, I'm really going to try and not make this an entire feminist rant, but also, like, you can stop.
Right.
I can't, and I won't. But yeah, why did we have to see them already broken?
Yeah. Or why weren't they broken more? Like, that's, and it's that way for me for the whole movie. Like, this movie, is this movie angry? It's not angry enough.
No.
Right? It's not, it's sexy, but it's not sexy enough. It's not scary enough. Like, all of it is not far enough to really ratchet this thing up and turn it into something. And so, like, if you want them to give them a reason, like a real reason to, like, hate each other and fight each other, not like the polyjuice blowjob, like it, like, it's, there needs to be more to whatever's happening here, so that it makes me feel anything at all. Now, clearly it worked better for you because it made you feel something. Like, whether that's good or bad feeling, it's like you had a reaction to it. I had a nap.
Ugh. Yeah, and I feel like this is another reason why I'm so mad at Hollywood and Broadway right now, because I feel like The Craft is a good example of, this was clearly a risk, and there was either a better script or there was hope for a better script, but Hollywood, as usual, is like, well, they need to be sexy, but we can't make it, like, too slutty because then no one will, want to root for them. Well, we want it to be dark, but we don't want it to be too dark because, like, we can't kill all the men. Like, that's insane. Why would, no woman wants to kill all men. We can We can have
Watch out, Walter.
He's fine. He knows.
Okay.
He
Hashtag not all men is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's fine. I think if you want to see some dark shit, that's great. That stuff has power. It can be cathartic. It can.
Because the reason why is what I've mentioned time and again, and it's not just the 80s, it's all through the arts. There's women hating stuff. There are women getting slapped and it being brushed over like it's doing another chore. You know,
right.
it's all the microaggressive bullshit. It's the same thing people from other groups have when seeing or not seeing themselves on screen, or seeing the worst version of themselves on screen. So like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do want more art that pushes the envelope. And unfortunately, it's very hard to find people who want to produce that.
Yeah.
Especially right now. Like,
yeah.
No one's going to be brave enough to do that right now. And so, like, while I want to give them a little bit of empathy on, like, the same thing that we do with 90210 episodes, like, you tried.
Yes, I was thinking that exact thing. Well, they tried.
You tried. You didn't know that a pair of pants could bring together 4 girls yet. You didn't know, and I'm sorry for you. That's no, but that's also fine.
Those two things, because I am me, are interchangeable. They just I've not seen either one of them. Probably not gonna, unless we find a reason to do it here, which we might, because we watch all kinds of stuff. But those are the same thing to me.
It'd be really funny.
I don't know anything about either one of those things except for the title.
That's it. I'm not going to go into explaining. I'm so delighted. That's really funny to me, actually.
I don't even know why, and that's great. I love it.
I'm broken half an hour in.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get into some mischief magic. So anyway, yeah, we went off on a tangent. Where to go from here? Because I feel like I said all I needed to say about that.
All right, let me ask you this, because one of the other things that I was trying to figure out what didn't land for me with this when there's so much about the witch aspects of Buffy that I love. Really fucking love. Oh yeah, there's witches. You're gonna fucking love Buffy. I can't even wait.
I can't wait.
I love that stuff. If the story is told well and has emotional stakes that I'm invested in, and that I like. Did you ever see the show Quantum Leap?
It's on the list.
Okay. I only bring it up because one of the things I like most about it is one of the things that I think is missing from this movie. The Quantum Leap is the story of Dr. Samuel Beckett, who, theorizing that one could travel through time within their own lifetime, stepped into the Quantum Leap accelerator and vanished. And now he shows up at different points in time in his own life, in his own lifespan, and he steps into the bodies of other people. And so he's living their life and trying to put right what once went wrong, and hoping that each leap will be the leap home.
Oh, wow.
He's not in control of this. He's jumped to these different bodies, to these different places to fix these different wrongs. And he doesn't know what's making him jump or who's making him jump. But the episodes I liked the most were the ones that were about the rules for why he's able to be here versus there versus, like, where they really explained or dug into, like, the reasons or the how of it all, and the logic of the world.
Huh.
Right? I love that kind of stuff. It's part of the reason why the end of Superman 1 drives me crazy. Because you've seen Superman the movie, right? No? Weirdo.
No.
All right. Superman, we're going a long way around to get to this, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Superman is a being from another planet with a red sun. When he comes to Earth, he draws his power from the yellow sun, right? Oh. So he can fly. He has superpower, super hearing, super strength, all this stuff. But it all takes place on our world according to the laws of physics on our world. He's an exception because he's an alien with sun powers and shit. Like, but everything else is the world.
Okay.
At the end of the movie, he flies backwards around the world, reversing its rotation and going back in time. That's not how the world works. That's not how the physics of our world works, and that's the world we've agreed to be in here with Superman. It's our world. He's an anomaly because of this one thing.
Yeah.
Not suddenly you can turn the world backwards and it's yesterday. Like, that's not fucking how anything works. Doesn't make any damn sense. Drives me nuts.
Oh boy.
This movie doesn't have any rules.
No.
There's no rules to the witchcraft. There's no defining power that they're drawing from. They mention this
Manon,
this spirit, and then Manon, but they don't tell you what that is. They don't get into, like, you know, when you let this being in, it is this kind of demon and it directs you in this way, or, you know, they get back, oh, it's going to come back on you threefold, whatever. What the fuck does that mean? Tell me why. Give me more of a world here,
which would exist. Those answers do exist. I don't know so much about Manon, but like the answers about, like, you know, it is definitely a thing out there. Like, if you curse someone, if you put a spell out there on someone, it will come back on you. So like that stuff is dark magic for a reason.
I've written a book. The central thesis of it is there has to be balance. You can't have too much good luck without it balancing. Like, the universe wants balance.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's great. Lean into it. Tell me that story.
Yeah.
Or, like, if they are water, air, fire, land, or whatever the four bridge partners are.
Earth.
Earth. Yeah. Each of their magics should be connected to those things. If you're the fire witch, you should have your powers should be connected to that.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist here. They make one guy lovesick and another chick lose her hair, and there's just some butterflies or some shit that happens. Vicky Valancourt walks on water like Jesus. Why can you do? I mean, maybe she's the water person. I don't remember.
I don't know. It didn't make sense, but yeah, it would have been nice if the magic had been more of a character in this and less of a set piece.
Yeah, or it's a fucking MacGuffin. Like, it's not real. It's just this imaginary bullshit that they put into the movie, and it's not connected. It's not connected emotionally to the characters and what they want. Like, Neve Campbell has a scaly back situation that, like, has made her very like, they don't do a good job of it, but they give her this backstory and they give her this reason that she feels self-conscious, and they give her
backstory.
Yeah, literally on her back.
Well,
nailed it. Well, they do, because they give her a motivation. She's like when she's in the beginning of the movie, she's all like super self-conscious. She hides her appearance because she's embarrassed that she has this, you know, eczema or whatever it is she got going on.
It looked like a burn.
It might have been a burn. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It might have been a burn. You're right, because when it comes on her face, it looks more like a burn too.
It's just my complaint is it looked like burns, and we have no idea what that's from. It sounded
Right.
like a self-inflicted thing, but I'm like, that's not typical to just
Right.
lay back and let it happen. The body is going to force you to move.
Yeah. I mean, tell us more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe she was the fire witch and I just didn't get that. Like maybe that's what that was. I don't fucking remember. I don't know what the hair has to do with air or earth.
Well, and
whatever.
all Rochelle asks is, I just want those who don't like me to leave me alone. So why they had to fuck with her appearance like that's going to cure anyone of their racism?
Right.
It's beyond me. It was petty and stupid, and like,
yeah,
it didn't fit.
No, I mean, none of it fit, and that's the thing. Like it just didn't. It didn't go far enough in any of the directions it could have, which I think is just the nature of it being 1996, and this is the kind of movie you're going to get. But it doesn't give you the backstory. It doesn't give you an emotional connection to the characters, really. It doesn't give you the rules of the world.
No.
So none of it feels grounded. And if you're going to tell a story that is supernatural, you have to ground it. Or it's not something that you can relate to as an audience member. Now, probably it's more relatable to women than it is to men because of the themes of it all.
Yeah.
And clearly that connected with you in ways that it didn't connect with me, which doesn't surprise me. That wasn't a dig. It just doesn't surprise me. Like,
no, I was not smiling out of. I did not feel like it was a dig. No, I agree, and I've had a feeling since the beginning of this that, like, yeah, it makes sense that this hit for me more than you.
Yeah, there are ways it could have hit for me, and I think it just fails on so many levels to rise to the level of interesting.
Well, and like even with it like striking many chords for me, I couldn't tell you if I liked it or didn't. I have many strong feelings about it, like I've had with other movies that we've watched. I don't know how I feel about it. If it's on next time I'm at my parents', sure, I may put it on in the background. But there are definitely things that needed to be stronger in this, and they're exactly what you said, just stronger backstory. Better editing too. My God.
Yeah, there was a lot of smash cuts and crazy shit. You know what? They were like, I'll tell you one thing that two things I think the movie did well. One, visually, I think it was pretty successful. I mean, I thought that there was a visual tone to it. I thought it was really, really gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
I think they kind of nailed that. And I also think that the mood created by the very mid 90s soundtrack is kind of great. But the rest of it, it's just
I thought the women were great too. Like the core four. I liked all of them.
I do too. Yeah, I like all of them. Although Fairuza Balk in this is a little more crazy than I need her to be. But like, shame on me for saying that, because I want this movie to be more, and she was a lot more.
But I think she's a great example of, okay, well, if you're going to do more, don't put it on this one person. Don't put it on this one character to be like, see, magic fucks people up. Like, you have to commit to more all around. You can't just have one zany person in a Shakespearean play and call it a comedy. Like,
right. Yeah. It would be. There's something slightly off with her crazy in this.
Again, I think it's not enough backstory.
That's probably true. Like, it's not her performance. It's not that she went too big, because she kind of went perfectly big. But maybe it doesn't fit because nothing else is big enough.
Yeah.
Like I love Nev Campbell. I love in this Rachel True, I think, is really good, and I really like Robin Tunney, not as hot as me, whatever. But I don't know that there's like they don't have a lot to do. Especially Nev Campbell and Rachel True don't have a ton to do in that.
I mean, Rachel True is ignored for the first 30 minutes. She's just there, and it made me so upset. But then thankfully, she's up front a lot with Nancy, and she does get to speak more and like engage more. But yeah, like her and Nev Campbell are just wasted in this movie.
They are. And like it's a shame that you're not gonna watch Scream because Nev is great. Like she's really good in those movies. I'm a fan. And that's why I want this to be better. And it's kind of flat for me. What kind of adventures and intimacy did we have here? Polyjuice blowjob.
Oh gosh.
Everybody, hashtag Polyjuice blowjob. Take to the socials.
Let me take a sip of water real quick.
Okay.
Just get myself ready. There's a lot of areas that I feel like a lot of other areas that an IC would have been helpful in bringing up or being a part of, but it's also not part of their job. So like there are so many random cuts. And the reason I bring this up is because one of the first big cuts is Sarah and Chris are suddenly on a date.
Right.
They're suddenly on a date. And if I was working on something and you tell me these two are going to be dating, he's going to start a rumor, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, well, one, I would have already read the script and then gone, hey, where's the lead up to this? Like, what am I supposed to show? How am I supposed to tell this story? How are they supposed to tell this story without something from a previous scene indicating something more? If you're going to jump around that much, you need to fill in the moments in previous scenes. And because
who did a good job with this exact thing of they went on a date and then the guy starts telling stories?
Oh no.
Brandon and Marianne Moore. Right though? Better. Like it's much better than this.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. I thought of that and I was like, that worked so much better than this.
No, for sure.
Because you understood why Brandon lied by omission.
Yeah. Yeah. I never understood where Sarah was with Chris, why she wanted him. If the spell was supposed to be, I want to make a fool out of him by making him lovesick, say something like that. Don't say I want to make him fall in love with me, because it sounded like she was interested. And I thought, honey, I know I was young and dumb too once, but based on what? Yeah. On what exactly?
Yeah. Why do you like this guy?
Like, in the what is so big, it can't even be answered with just teenagers. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No. I don't understand why she was interested in him.
We'll come back to that.
Not in that way. Like if you're gonna spell him up, it should not be a love spell. It should be a revenge spell.
Exactly. Torture the motherfucker.
Yeah. Shouts Don Yanka. Go through everybody.
What?
You don't know yet. I said shouts Don Yanka. That's a Buffy thing that you're just gonna have to know.
Okay.
Yep.
Vengeance. There, something I've had to, or not had to mention, because when I go into a gig as an IC, I do like to remind them I'm not a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So not only do you not have to tell me why your boundaries are what they are, I would prefer you didn't. Because again, not a therapist, not a
Right.
girl. Good Place reference.
Oh, there you go.
Um,
Oh, that's
but
right. Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
so with that being
Shouts to
said,
Janet.
it is still something worth pointing out, like, or talking with your actors about, like, hey, there's self-harm in this. Would we like a mental health coordinator? Because that is
Mm-hmm.
also a job now, and people can laugh or feel whatever way about it. It's awesome, and I know I'd love it, and I bet many other people would too. But that would be a totally separate job from an intimacy job.
Yep.
Um,
Hire two
let's
people,
see.
motherfuckers. Don't cheap out.
Hire more people. You were hiring hacking consultants for Real Genius, so you have the money.
You know who didn't hire a hacking consultant? Herbert.
He really should have.
Yep. Shouts to
Uh,
Herbert. I'm just giving shouts to people tonight.
I know you are. I feel bad that I'm like talking over a lot of them, but
No, I think we have a slight delay, but it's all right.
oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
When they all were doing their "How do you enter?" there with the dagger on their chest, which I was like, ooh, need a
Oh,
fight person for that. One to be like, let's get a fake dagger because that did not look fake.
yeah. It looked pointy.
Yeah, and I'd be like, whoo, you're not putting that on me.
I don't trust you that much.
I'd be like, ooh, I mean, yes, I'm being paid, but I let's discuss the scene more. Let's get a fake in here
Yeah.
because you all are intense. But they each had a
I
kiss,
want one
and
of those
each
that
one was
like you
different.
press it and it goes squish, squish, squish.
Yeah,
That's the kind of knife I want.
exactly, exactly. But they each have a kiss after that moment, and they were all a little different, which
Hmm.
variety is good, and it
They,
shows
I
again
think they would
difference in
be.
their
Yeah.
relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a weird mom daughter ass tap, which I was like, what is that about? Um, I'm not judging. I didn't understand it. Maybe that's a thing. You just swat your kid on the butt. I don't know. Maybe. Um, wasn't expected.
I don't think you played
Ooh,
sports.
no. You think?
Ass, ass smacks are very normal in sports. Like you play basketball, hey, nice job, smack somebody on the ass. That that's just very normal. I don't know that they do it anymore, but growing up that was very normal.
Sadly, we don't get playful things like that in dance. We just get verbal abuse.
I'm sorry.
Which can be fun too if it's not being aimed at you.
Oh, there you go.
um, let's see. Oh, I was like, I have trouble reading my handwriting sometimes. Um, the non-consensual massage. This whole moment where Chris is massaging, it's a whole non-consensual moment, but the way that it builds is horrifying, which it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like they told a story here. And I guess this is where the spell was coming back around threefold. What is
Mm-hmm.
the yeah,
Yeah, I think that was right.
which I didn't like because that felt like an asking for it situation. But
Mm.
it is what it is. They wrote it, and maybe that's how it would play out. I don't know. It was rough and unexpected. As I'm
You know
sure
the
Sarah
massage
felt.
that came to my
Well,
head when you mentioned that
oh no, what?
was um, was was that little boy and Molly Shannon.
Yes, it's you know
Oh,
what?
your hands are magic.
Everyone think back to that little boy massaging Molly Shannon instead of what I'm about to talk about. Um, even though Sarah gets away. But yeah, he's massaging her and she's telling him no and like not into it. And then it turns into like this violent intimacy scene where she's running out of the car and he like tackles her. And it was very interesting that one that they chose to leave the car and then two that like it's on a hill and like which in a way makes it easier that they don't have to like fall down. They can just fall back a little into a slant.
Sure.
I hope that didn't affect the sound a little. So I don't know. I found the blocking really interesting. Like I said, it was probably the best intimate storytelling of the movie, and I never thought I would say that about a violent, intimate moment, but
interesting.
I mean, those stories exist. Like,
and there's ways to tell them.
There's ways to tell them, and they need to be dynamic, and they need to be horrifying without being revenge porn or torture porn. That's it.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay. The sounds for that moment when Nancy tricks Chris into thinking she's Sarah and they're making out.
Polyjuice blowjob.
Yeah. The sounds Fairuza Balk was making, it sounded like she was being penetrated. And Walter and I both thought they were doing it.
He was thrusting.
But they were... See, okay, and this is where I have a problem. Like, okay, you either commit to making it look more like it, say with... If you don't want to be seen naked, that's fine. Have a blanket over you. Have some clothes thrown off or something. They both were still fully clothed. But yep. Yeah, you're right. He was making a thrusting motion, and she was making the sounds. But then when they both pulled away from each other, it's like there's no way anything had entered anyone.
Nope. Hashtag dry hump.
Not saying it can't get you there, but still, like...
Shouts to dry hump.
Oh, this episode is so silly.
I don't know, which was sillier? Shouts to dry hump or me talking about Superman and Quantum Leap?
All of it. And then comparing Yaya Sisterhood to Sisterhood and Charlie Pants.
Yaya. And also saying Yaya like I'm a Teletubby.
Oh, God.
And then it was Yaya's turn to make the tubby custard. Yaya! Yaya turn to make the tubby custard.
No.
And then it was Tinky Winky's turn to wear the skirt. A Tinky Winky turn to wear the skirt. Did you ever watch Teletubbies? That show freaked me the fuck out.
Yes, I did. I don't know why I watched it. It was weird and freaky.
That baby in the sun is the scariest thing that's ever been put on film.
See, I found the vacuum to be more terrifying.
Oh, there's nothing scarier than that baby. But that vacuum is, especially when the vacuum just barfs up tubby custard everywhere. It's a mess. There were 4 of them. Just like these witches. One more way that this movie's just like the Teletubbies.
4 is the magic number. Yes,
except
it is.
3. And 3.
The last bit of intimacy I want to note.
I like how you're trying to pull the car back on the road.
I am. It's my section.
I'm with it. Do it. Sorry.
I did not like. So when Sarah goes to the store witch and is, like, oh, I need your help and all of this, but I don't know what to do. I did not care for the store witch, like, stroking her hair and everything. I thought that was so weird. But again, maybe that's coming from a 2025 lens. I don't know. But I also, it distinctly made me remember a scene I did with an actor once, playing my mom in a scene. And she's giving me really tough news. And she would be holding my hands and I would pull my hands away. But she would then take my hands back, and it got to the point where we would just be like fighting each other. I'm like, no, and I'm just like, I wish the other actor had like read the moment and thought like, but again, that was a different scene. We're playing mother and daughter. These 2 actors are playing complete strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Customer and owner. So like,
yeah,
adult and child.
yeah, yeah.
Just because
But
we're
magic.
witches doesn't mean you can touch me.
That's exactly what it means. Witches touch witches. That's how it works.
No.
Carte
They
blanche.
say that same shit about actors, and I'm not here for it. I won't stand for
No.
it.
All right. I guess we'll draw a line somewhere.
Some of us
Any
have
more
boundaries.
intimacies? Ah.
No more intimacies.
All right. Um. So I touched briefly on Needle Drop Forest earlier in that like I think the soundtrack to this is pretty great. Um, it's super atmospheric. It's weird in that like like the opening credits is like guaranteed to freak out Don Draper. Tomorrow Never Knows, but it's a cover version by Our Lady Peace, which is like super 90s. And there's like they've got weird ass cover versions of things. They've got stuff. They've got Jewel and Juliana Hatfield and Tripping Daisy and Letters to Cleo. Like that's some '90s shit right there, guys.
Yeah.
And then they've got How Soon Is Now. Like they've got like that's not a '90s song, but but it's not. It's a cover of How Soon Is Now. And it's just it's well done for the mood they're trying to create. It'd still give me the originals of those songs over these covers, but I think if you play the Beatles version of Tomorrow Never Knows over the opening credits, all you're gonna think is this is the Beatles. Like,
yeah,
I'm not sure,
but I'm fine
I think
with
it
that.
pulls you out. Yeah, but I think it pulls you out. I think it's a
Oh.
better choice to do the cover because it's like, oh, this already spooky kind of song done in a way I'm not familiar with. So this is interesting,
Yeah.
I don't know. I found it effective.
No, that's a good point. And I don't think I realized. Yeah, somehow I didn't realize in the moment they were covers, which sounds really daft, but it's true because I know, especially for How Soon Is Now, um, like that's a great song.
Great.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's one of those
As I
that'll
was
get in
watching,
your
you know
head
what?
and stick there.
Well, yeah, you know what it is. I will hear the orchestrations, the instrumentals, and then my brain fills in the vocals of the original.
Sure.
And that's
Yeah.
what I hear.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Same with the Beatles one. I was like, I hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I kind of dig it. I think it's the thing. The visuals I thought were good too, but that's the thing I like the most about this movie.
Sure.
Was probably the music. All right, what else time? Is this anyone's defining role?
I don't know. Like, potentially Fairuza Balk, but I knew her first and foremost as Dorothy in Return to Oz. I've grown with her.
See, and for me, I mean, this is where I first knew of her because this was a star making turn for her. Like it's a pretty big performance. But she's Vicky Valancourt to me from Waterboy.
Well, and I love her now as Sapphire in Almost Famous. Like, does anyone remember laughter?
Yeah, she's great in that. So I think she's the only possible answer.
Yeah,
but if pressed, what else is Robin Tunney in? Because I know her. That is a movie I find to be over.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong because that's definitely a movie I've watched and have been like, okay, it's gonna take a few more watches, like some do.
I think I think it landed. I wanted it to land here, and it landed here. for me. Just it's close to what I wanted it to be, but not quite there.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. But yeah, I didn't realize who she was until I looked up. I forget when I made the connection, but I was like, oh, the bald chick. She just shakes her head. She's not bald necessarily. But yeah, yeah, she's hot. So is Rachel True. I was like, it's a gorgeous cast. My God.
I know. They're all hot. What are you gonna do?
I might have figured some things out sooner if I had seen this sooner. But yeah, I don't really think it's I don't think it's anyone's defining role.
I don't think it is either. I mean, it's definitely not Neve Campbell. I mean, 30 years have shown us that she's Sidney Prescott.
This will make you so sad. I have only seen her in one thing, and it's an indie movie about a ballet company. It's called Company, and what's really funny is my sister got it for me one Christmas when we were snowed in and we watched it. We remember absolutely nothing about this film, but upon research, I thought, I don't see how Ashley could have liked this movie.
Yeah. So, I feel like I remember that coming out, but I never saw it. But
I want to rewatch it for me. I'm curious. Like, I'm always interested in movies about dance, just again, because it's one of those areas that people want to exaggerate the one thing. Like, of course, there's always someone with an eating disorder because that's all we know dancers to do. It's not. Yeah. But if James Franco's in it, and so it's like, I don't know. I'll watch it again at some point.
There you go.
The next pandemic.
Do you have any what else's? What else?
I was looking up, just teen movies in the 90s, trying to get a sense of, what was trendy. What was trending amongst film themes. And I noticed that 96 was the season of The Witch. Because not only did we also get Sabrina the Teenage Witch in 96, we also got Little Witches, which kind of looks like a more revenge porn version of The Craft. It is, I don't know how this happens, but I have seen it in the musical theater world as well. Not like as it's happening, but there will be these, I don't know how a story gets out and then someone is able to. This is less clear to me than like in the musical theater world. The two examples I'm thinking of, there were two different Titanic musicals. Wait, no, there were two different Phantom of the Operas. One succeeded, or one became famous, and the other one is, back in the closet. Gotcha. There are two musical versions of The Wild Party, which is based off a poem, and one is more well-known than the other. So like that makes sense. Some, whether it became open to the public, free of copyright, and people just grab it, kind of like Great Gatsby. There are multiple versions of that happening and in the works. But something about girls in a Catholic school finding magic, like that's. I don't know if someone was at a party and they just said it, or if someone at a production CEO meeting, whatever, said, you know what we need? Movies about witches. But how can we make witches sexy? Make them Catholic schoolgirls. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to put myself in the mind of a man.
I'm interested.
Of a rich man. It's very difficult. Maybe if I grabbed my crotch.
Do it. No. Look, you saw, we watched Just One of the Guys. You know how you have to shift. Like, there's a whole, he practices. You got to, then you got to hand towels to Johnny Lawrence in the bathroom. That's how it works. I don't know.
That's all I got for what else, I think.
Okay. What is this the EST of for you?
Oh, God. I think this is the angriest I have felt watching a movie about witches.
Interesting. Okay. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. This is the middest witch movie for me. Just
so sad.
Right down the middle of the road, squished just like grape.
Ooh, I was thinking squish like in He Had It Coming. He ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 10 times.
Just like those 4 bitches on the beach. And they smooch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to run into the knife. All right, I think that once again we have proven my theory that everything comes back to in spelling.
Even the craft.
Even this middling piece of whatever.
You sound like you've been on a journey.
We went around the world backwards to turn back time.
I'm proud of us for this episode. For the fact that we both went, I have no idea what to say about this film. Me either. And boy, did we have some laughs.
We had some things to talk about. I'm getting weird text messages from my child now.
What?
No, it doesn't make. I told him he was being too loud, and he texted back 0 MB. I don't know what that means.
Some youth speak.
0 megabytes. Oh no! Oh, I get it. It's an O and an MB. So he's saying, "Oh, my bad." Figured it out. I figured out teen speak. Everybody, congratulate me.
I love it.
Congratulate me for that shit.
Shout out to teen speak.
Join us here on Wednesday, Cheesemeisters, when we watch season 4, episode 3, The Little Fish. And here again next Friday on the After Dark, when I don't even know what we're gonna do. I haven't watched the episode yet, so I know that we meet the brothers of the Keg House, which is awesome. So there's a chance to do something frat related if we felt like it, but there will be plenty of chances for us to do frat related things over the next 4 seasons.
Oh boy! I
feel like we got to rush through that.
Hey, pun intended.
Also, not for nothing, Steve's dad's name is Rush. Shouts to Rush Sanders. But we won't meet him until next season. I don't think he shows up in season 4. Anyway, neither here nor there. I don't know. So we'll figure something out to watch for the After Dark next week, and I feel confident that I'm going to have more feelings about it than I had about The Craft.
Yeah.
One way or the other. So, but until then, Cheesemeisters. Cheers.
Cheers.